component of the green grading process. So last time we looked at screen sizes, and this time we're looking at identifying defects. So defects are basically malformed beans, and they're going to result in disfavourable flavours or taints in the end cup, and we don't want these. So we look for defects at 2 phases, just like we did with the screen grading. So first of all, when we receive a sample of coffee which we might want to purchase, we go through and we look at the amount of green defects. And secondly, when we have signed off on that coffee, it arrives into the wolf house, we reevaluate the sample and just check that the range of defects is still in the acceptable. Alrighty, so defects, we look to the Specialty Coffee Association of America to guide us here in identifying and categorising them. So they differentiate between Category 1, or primary defects, and Category 2, secondary defects. So there can be multiple beans which make up a total defect. For example, for a Category 1 of the severe insect damage, which is 3 or more bites per bean, you need 5 of them to make up a full defect. But for a Category 1 black, so an opaque black bean, you only need 1 to make a Category 1 defect. So the tolerable range for us, again, we're guided by the Specialty Coffee Association of America, is 0 of the Category 1 primary defects and under 5 of the Category 2 secondary defects, and that's for a 350 gram sample. So what we're going to do now is just look at the process by which we go through to identify these defects. So we grab our coffee sample, ideally 350 grams or whatever you've got on hand. Then we put it on a green grading mat, so it's just a black mat. Ours is great because it has a list of the defects on it, super useful. So we then go through, sort out and group the defects, and then we basically list how many of each one we've got and then identify how many Category 1s and how many Category 2s. Here we use Cropster again just to identify and keep a track of all of our green grades for coffee. Cool. So there are a few different defects, and some of them are more tolerable than others. We don't expect coffee to come to us exactly mint condition, every bean being polished in the exact same size. For example, chips and cuts, if they've not got infected, that's totally fine as long as they're below our tolerance for it. Whereas if you've got coffee coming in and it's got, 1 or 2 blacks, a couple of sours and a rock, obviously that's not a coffee we're looking to purchase. So that's the green grading process. So just to summarise, green grading looking for defects is an extremely important process for us. Defects can result in negative flavours in the end cup throughout the entire roast. It's something we don't want our customers to be drinking, and even worse than that, we've also got foreign objects like sticks and stones which can damage equipment. We don't want to be taking out anyone's grinder anytime soon. So we have a range of acceptable defects, and as long as there's no Category 1 and there's under 5 Category 2, then it's acceptable. Anything that's not acceptable, we just don't purchase. Alrighty, so looking for defects is important. Obviously more important is the sensory analysis, but we'll get to that at a later date. See ya.